Good morning, everybody. Yesterday was a very productive and a very good day. We worked on the house, but I ran across something this morning that actually disturbs me greatly, and I'm about to go deal with it, well, as much as I can. No, yesterday, a grizzly bear was spotted maybe 50 yards away from my wife's food truck. And that's highly disturbing because my wife's food truck is right in the center of town, which means it went through an entire residential area in order to get to her or get to the center of town. And quite frankly, the thing that drew him there was probably the smell of my wife cooking in that food truck. So I'm going to run down to Fish and Game, and who, by the way, their office is maybe 50 yards from where that bear was spotted. But I'm going to go talk to Fish and Game and see what they're doing about it, see if they're looking for that bear, and make sure they're actually aware that it happened, that it was spotted, because they might not be. Alright, lighting is a little bit better here. I'm actually sitting at my wife's food truck at the picnic table out front. Yeah, I went to Fish and Game about that bear that was spotted, and I'll actually show you where that was spotted in relation to my wife's food truck. He said they get 1 or 2 reports of a bear in town a year, which is true, but they don't make it in this far. They don't make it to the center of town usually. Normally, one of the residents, if they see the bear, they'll either chase it out and try and make sure it doesn't come into town, or they'll kill it just to make sure. It's kind of normal procedure around here. And when they do kill it, they utilize the meat, they eat it. I ended up getting a bear tag while I was there, just to make sure, if I do run across it, I'm gonna put it down, because I don't want to take any risks with my wife. Those things are dangerous, and they don't have to be very big in order to be very dangerous. They're extremely powerful. This is one of those deals that you have to live with when you live here. Just the idea that there's animals out there that are as large or bigger than you, and most definitely more powerful than you are in terms of raw strength. All right, I'm standing about 25 feet or so from the food truck. Okay, now right over there, now I'm gonna zoom in. Right next to that little octagonal structure that you see right there, that's where that bear was spotted. That's not even 50 yards from my wife's food truck. Now, the picture that was taken out near the highway where those flags are. That's the angle that the picture was taken from. Now, I'm going to pan over. Right over there is the Fish and Game office. I'm really hoping it got scared and bailed out of town. But normally if they get that far into town, they are no longer afraid of people and are dangerous. I'm gonna be working back in here again today. Of course. I'm actually still really happy that I get to work in my own house. But today I'm gonna be working on the 2 gable ends here, meaning the end of the house up high, okay, because I have a acoustic ceiling in this room. It's only in the living room kitchen area where I have the acoustic ceiling. So, which basically just means it angles up, okay? So I'm gonna be putting the foam in on the gable ends of the acoustic section. I'll be having my brother work on putting the 2x4s up, while my son and I work in the back room, because we have to do a bunch of cleanup in there, move some stuff around, and I'll have to start on some reframing in one of the rooms back there before we can do the insulation and get that section, that wing of the house, to the same place that we're working to get this section to. Once the 2x4s are in place, I can go through and start working on the electrical. So anywhere that we want power outlets in the exterior walls, which is where all of this foam is going, we'll attach it to the 2x4 stringers that will be on the face of the foam, and I'll be able to run it that way. So basically I'll have electricity. I can now have electricity in the exterior walls without penetrating or lessening the amount of insulation value in the exterior walls, and without penetrating the vapor barrier of the exterior walls. This makes the entire setup absolutely prime in terms of heat retention, particularly in the winter. So this will end up being a super tight house in terms of heating. I had to do a little bit of a modification above the sliding glass door over here. And I'll have to do the same, actually, and I didn't realize that, above my other double door over here. But that's okay, you know, that's not really such a big deal, because that one over there I can actually pack with fiberglass insulation before I do the wrap. So in all reality, I'm still okay over there. When I go into town later, I'm gonna do a quick run around the area where my wife's food truck is, just to see if there's any sign that that bear could have stayed in town, and I'll take that issue from there. And my wife is gonna keep an eye on Facebook to see if the locals are talking about the bear anymore at all. So we'll see what happens there. My wife just left to go down to the food truck to start working down there. My son is taking care of some stuff in the house. My brother is over at my dad's with a work crew, putting siding on his house. So I'll be working here alone for a little bit, which I don't have a problem with. I kind of enjoy it sometimes. So let's get it. Yeah. All right, so as you can see, I got both gable ends done here. There's a few places where I have too wide a spot between the foam, because there was a corner that was all messed up, but just like inch and a half section, and I'll just spray that with spray-in foam just to take up the slack and make sure it's sealed up before the vapor barrier tape goes up. But there isn't much of that, so everything is looking good. It's looking pretty tight. The only thing that I have left to do in terms of the RMAX in this room is where the sheetrock is leaned up against the wall currently. Actually, everything is going really well. It is currently 4 o'clock. Ooh, that means I have to relieve my sister for watching the kids. It's looking good, guys. Really good. All right. Time to edit a video.